Have you ever imagined getting pulled over, handed a fine, or even losing your license? Not because you did something wrong, but simply because you did not know about a new rule that just went into effect? That is exactly what is happening to thousands of drivers across America right now. New regulations have just been released in April 2026, and if you are behind the wheel anywhere in the United States, this information could save you from serious trouble. Stay right here, because what you are about to hear could protect your license, your wallet, and your safety. Welcome back to Drive Authority USA, the channel that keeps American drivers informed, updated, and protected on every road, every highway, and every state line. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now because we drop the most critical driving updates before anyone else. Today we are breaking down the brand new April 2026 driving regulations that have just been officially released across multiple states in the USA. These are not rumors, these are not proposals. These are real enforced rules that are already affecting drivers today. So let us get straight into it. The first major regulation that every driver needs to know about is the updated hands-free device law that has now been expanded and strengthened in over 30 states simultaneously. For a long time, many drivers believed that simply using a phone mount or a Bluetooth speaker was enough to stay legal. That thinking is now outdated and dangerous. The April 2026 update makes it clear that any physical interaction with your phone while your vehicle is in motion is a primary offense. That means even touching your screen to skip a song, glance at a notification, or tap your GPS app is now a ticketable offense in these states. Officers no longer need to see you talking on the phone. Simply touching it is enough. Fines for first-time violations have jumped significantly, starting at $250 in most states and reaching as high as $500 in states like California, New York, and Washington. Repeat violations within an 18-month period can now result in mandatory driving courses and points added directly to your license record. The second regulation hitting drivers in April 2026 involves school zone speed enforcement, and this one comes with technology that many people were not expecting. Automated speed cameras are now being deployed in school zones across major cities including Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, and Philadelphia. These cameras operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, not just during school hours. The new rule specifies that the reduced school zone speed limit applies at all times of the day, regardless of whether school is in session. Many drivers made the mistake of speeding through a school zone at night or on weekends thinking they were safe. Those days are gone. Violations caught on camera result in automatic mailed citations starting at $175 for the first offense and increasing to $350 for the second offense within a 12-month period. The third update is one that affects truck drivers, rideshare drivers, and commercial vehicle operators specifically. New hours of service adjustments have been clarified under the April 2026 Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration guidelines. Commercial drivers are now required to take a mandatory 30-minute break after 8 consecutive hours of driving, and this break must be logged digitally through an electronic logging device. Paper logs are no longer accepted for interstate commercial routes as of this month. Drivers found operating without a properly functioning ELD device face immediate out-of-service orders and fines that can reach $11,000 per violation. Fleet companies and independent operators need to ensure full compliance right now. The fourth regulation directly impacts new and young drivers across the country. The graduated driver licensing system has been updated in 16 states to include stricter nighttime driving restrictions for drivers under the age of 18. Previously, many states allowed teenage drivers to operate vehicles until midnight or later. The new standard being adopted pushes that curfew back to 10 o'clock in the evening on school nights and 11 o'clock on weekends. Additionally, passenger restrictions for newly licensed teenage drivers have been tightened. In the updated states, a newly licensed driver under 18 cannot carry more than one passenger under the age of 21 who is not a family member for the first 6 months of licensure. Parents of teenage drivers especially need to review their state's specific implementation of these new rules. The fifth update is something that affects virtually every single driver in America and is perhaps the most important change of April 2026. Insurance verification technology has gone digital and real-time in 38 states. Law enforcement officers in these states now have access to a live insurance database directly connected to their patrol vehicle systems. This means when an officer runs your license plate, they instantly see whether your vehicle has active insurance coverage. Paper insurance cards are still legal to carry, but they will not protect you if the system shows your coverage lapsed. If there is a gap in your insurance history, even for a single day, It will now appear in this system and can result in citations on the spot. Make sure your insurance payments are current and that your provider has updated your policy status in the National Verification Network. The sixth change is related to electric vehicle charging station regulations that are now being enforced in parking areas across multiple states. As electric vehicles continue to grow in popularity across the USA, new rules now prohibit non-electric vehicles from parking in designated EV charging spots. This sounds simple, but enforcement has now been upgraded. Fines for blocking EV charging stations with a non-electric vehicle now range from $75 to $150, and in some municipalities, towing is now authorized immediately without warning. Even electric vehicle owners who park at a charging station but are not actively charging their vehicle can be cited if they remain parked longer than the posted time limit after their charge is complete. The seventh regulation involves work zone safety, and it is one that law enforcement agencies say they will be aggressively enforcing throughout the spring and summer of 2026. Speed limits in active work zones are being strictly enforced with doubled fines across the board. What makes this update different from previous years is the inclusion of a new Amber Alert style sign system inside work zones. These digital signs now display real-time warnings, including when workers are present, when heavy machinery is operating near the road, and when the speed limit drops below standard work zone speeds. Ignoring these signs is now treated as reckless driving in 14 states, which carries significantly heavier penalties than a standard speeding ticket and can result in license suspension on a second offense. The eighth and final major update for April 2026 addresses vehicle equipment standards. Several states have updated their requirements around vehicle lighting, window tint, and tire condition standards. Window tint laws in particular have been revised in 8 states, with allowable tint levels being strictly measured and enforced during vehicle inspections. If your vehicle was previously compliant, but you recently had your windows retinted, it is worth verifying that the tint level still meets your state's updated standard. Additionally, tire tread depth requirements have been reinforced, with new minimum depth standards being applied during roadside safety checks, particularly for commercial and rideshare vehicles. Vehicles found operating with tires below the minimum tread depth can be placed out of service immediately. Now you have a full picture of what has changed in April 2026 and what every driver in America needs to be paying attention to right now. The roads are not just being monitored differently, they are being enforced at a level we have not seen before, backed by new technology, updated laws, and real consequences for those who are not prepared. Here is what you need to do right now. Check your state's official DMV or Department of Transportation website to see which of these specific regulations apply to your area. Verify your insurance is active and up to date in the national system. Talk to your teenage drivers at home about the updated curfews and passenger rules. And if you drive commercially, confirm your ELD is functioning and your hours of service logs are fully compliant. This is exactly what DriveAuthority USA exists for. We cut through the confusion, we bring you the facts, and we make sure you are never caught off guard on the road. If this video helped you today, hit the like button, share it with every driver you know, and subscribe to DriveAuthority USA so you never miss a critical update like this one. Stay legal, stay safe, and we will see you in the next one.